stickers you want? We got stickers.
We have signs, Stop Kavanaugh, Protect Roe. Today we have Chuck Grassley out here giving a town hall in Osceola, Iowa. Quite far from where more dense populations of residents are, but that will not stop us from coming all the way out from Des Moines. I know folks are coming out from southeast Iowa. Right now is a crucial time just because they're going to be voting on the Kavanaugh nomination soon. So this might be one of the last times that Iowans actually get to see Chuck Grassley in person, talk to him, and let him know what our position is on Kavanaugh and how what we would like him to vote.
I don't know if they could have found a smaller room, but maybe there's one available. Or further away.
This is my 99th county for the 38th year in a row.
His comments about being in every county, in all 99 counties, there's not been a public town hall that I know of in Polk County for several years. I believe he has closed door meetings and people are, certain people can come to those, but
I've worked with you in ethanol and biomass and wind energy, so I'm a Chuck Grassley fan. But I've been watching the Kavanaugh hearings, and it looks like this guy has perjured himself.
Yeah!
Are you going to continue to try to fast track this guy? Or are we going to slow down and see if we can figure out what's going on so we don't have to come back to the guy later on?
Let's define fast track.
Let's not. Focus on the question.
No question.
Just answer the question.
Anybody perjures themselves, that is a prosecution issue. He'll be on the agenda next Thursday, but he can't be taken up next Thursday. So there's going to be several days after that.
But there seems like a real dichotomy between the way Garland was handled and the way you're handling Gorsuch.
Yes.
What about the perjury question?
He didn't answer the question.
I appreciate how you...
I did answer. That's an executive branch decision to prosecute somebody, just like Mueller's prosecuting 3 or 4 people for lying.
Then do the right thing and vote no.
Vote no.
On Friday, this last Friday, Scott Dworkin and John Cooper filed a complaint with the Washington, D.C. Circuit Court against Brett Kavanaugh, accusing Judge Kavanaugh of committing perjury, concealing information, and making false statements in testimony. That's directly from the complaint before the Senate Judiciary Committee. Several supporting documents are attached to the complaint as evidence. Since Judge Kavanaugh has been nominated as a justice on the Supreme Court, a position I think should be held to the highest ethical standards that we have, do you support putting this nomination process on hold until this complaint is decided? If so, thank you. And if not, why not?
If Congress didn't do any of its work, as long as there was a case filed, we'd never get anything done at all. Oh my goodness. If you brought up every time that a case is pending or a case is something's filed before the courts and you don't even know when this one will be heard, then we're a separate branch of government. We can't go by what the judicial branch of government is doing.
Oh my God. And I'm a Democrat, and I voted for you a time or two in the past. And I'm just confused on how you justify how you're choosing the Supreme Court justices. Because I don't understand why you would hold up Merrick Garland because of an election that was coming up. It was 10 months away. And why now you even were the one, and both times it was you, and the second time you even said if somebody wants to retire from the Supreme Court, they better do it quick. And so you were saying we better get it done before the election. And I don't see how you justify that. And people didn't get a chance to look at Merrick Garland, but they are getting a chance to look at Trump's appointee. It doesn't make any sense. And it was you that made that choice. And now you've made the choice to elect President Trump's nominee. And the Senate is in play. It's the very same scenario.
So why would you expect me to do something different?
I'm saying no question.
You are not defending our Constitution. You are not defending our democracy. Donald Trump attacks our Constitution every day. He is also engaged in a systematic attack of our basic democratic institutions. He is, by several credible inside accounts, totally and unequivocally
What's the question?
unfit, I'm getting there, unfit to be the President of the United States. He is an unindicted co-conspirator in 2 felonies. Absolutely. He is overall a boorish, immoral, and engages in small cruelty and has dismissed and degraded the office of the presidency. And he has sullied the reputation of our country. Yeah. Why are you silent in the face of all this? Why are you silent? You did not take an oath of office to protect him. You took an oath of office to protect the Constitution. Did you respond to him when he attacks the free press every day? That is protected by the Constitution of the United States. Do you respond to him when he attacks the right to free speech and peaceful demonstrations every day? You do not respond to that. Did you respond to him when he said the Justice Department should not indict 2 sitting Republican congressmen because it hurts the election process?
I speak up this way a lot of times about defending the press.
It appears that Kavanaugh is about to be on the Supreme Court. There's also a very good possibility that the current president that nominated him is going to be before the Supreme Court with some kind of a subpoena or something. Has he indicated anything about him being willing to accuse himself in the case of the person that nominated him is actually going to be before him? The second question is every election cycle there is an increasing amount of money put into the political campaigns. Now I know that Des Moines, Iowa likes it a lot because they get filthy rich, but what are you doing to eliminate the ever-increasing amount of money that it costs to run for political office?
Rules within the Supreme Court to recuse and when not to recuse. So there's very strict rules on that, and that will depend upon what the case is that comes before the Senate. There's very little restriction on how the money can be spent. So, and I don't see that being changed because it's a constitutional issue, and in order to change it, you'd have to amend the First Amendment, freedom of speech.
What'd you think?
You know, I thought it was a pretty well split room. We had a lot of supporters of Roe v. Wade. And at one point, Grassley was saying he didn't want to answer any more Kavanaugh questions. And so whoever didn't have a Kavanaugh question, that they could ask their questions. So that really shows us Grassley knows that Iowans do not support Kavanaugh for Supreme Court Justice, and instead of having the confrontation which could lead to resolution, he just wants to avoid it at all costs.
Unfortunately, I've had to come to these town halls like here in Osceola, and I followed him to Boone, and unfortunately wasn't able to ask a question either in Boone or today. So I feel like we're not being heard. When Justice Keegan was up for nomination at the Supreme Court, there was video of Senator Grassley saying he wanted all her documents released when she was under Clinton, and under the nomination for Kavanaugh, there's not been that push. You know, he wanted it under Keegan, he doesn't want it under Kavanaugh. So what's the secrecy? Where's the transparency? Double standards. And again, you know, they denied Merrick Garland a vote, and yet are pushing through Kavanaugh. And so I'm concerned about that. This is a lifetime appointment that we're having here, and we're not getting all the documents, and there's serious concerns that we have about him. Questions aren't being answered.
Some crazy people in there. Crazy.
Okay, Jan, get the photo!
Come get in our photo.
I'm in the photo here.